In this episode, you will get 3 stocks which analysts and our system think will be the future winner. 2 of them have potential starting already next week. The other one may come a little later. You're listening to the StockInvest.us podcast, Trading Tips with Jim, heading in to week 46. Last week I told you I thought it would be a red week, and a red week it is so far. Nasdaq down 2.83% this week. Dow Jones 1.37%. And S&P 500 almost 2% down. And we will see how this will end. It is Friday. You probably get this podcast during the weekend as we get ready for week 46. And I promised you 3 stocks that analysts and our system think will be future winner. The first stock is a stock which currently is sitting a little high. It's Guardant Health stock, and the analyst thinks this stock may go more than 1,000% based on future earnings. Currently sitting at $96, a little bit high, overbought on relative strength index. I would say get this stock down around 75 because there is no support under $92 until $73. $20 gap there, quite huge fall range. I would say get this stock just above $75, and you probably will be in for a very, very good stock. The other 2 stocks, they have a much clearer path starting already now, and I will get back to them in a little bit. But the first one, Guardant Health stock, GH, listed at Nasdaq, currently trading around $96. Our systems and analysts thinks this stock over the next 14 months will do very, very well. But I believe the best purchase area will be just around $75. Last week's podcast, I told you I thought it would be a red week and that I would sell my Nvidia and Tesla shares. I would make the decision after the podcast. I made the decision and I sold them, and I did very correct. Nvidia has been dropping, not hard, but dropping. Tesla is also dropping, but yesterday, and that was some of the argument I gave last week, is this thing about Elon Musk salary package to bring Tesla forward. It was approved yesterday by 75% of the votes, so Elon is getting the package. Previous package has been court issues, maybe this will be as well, but that is such a good thing for Tesla. I love Tesla. I believe Tesla will absolutely continue upwards, but in the short term, I think it will be a reaction down despite Elon getting the package through. The reason for this, because normally if it was a okay week, like the week was green, I would believe the stock would go up 7% today, even maybe more. But we are in a little bit negative sentiment, and I think that will take an overall toll on Tesla. It might open up on Friday just to continue downwards during the day, and I think that might continue out during the week. For all my listeners, there is only one thing I really want. I hope that I can give you something that enables you to do better trades. Last week I told you I thought it would be a red week, and I adjusted my portfolio accordingly. What I'm going to tell you next is what I think will happen in the week ahead of us, and I will do my investments or trading accordingly. If I believe it will be a green week, I will be much more aggressive than usual. If it's a red week, I might use it as the week that I will trade, because I love red weeks. Red weeks are where you can get the real good buying opportunities, but they have to come either as a result of a huge dip, because one red day is usually followed by a new one, and one red week can be followed by 2 more red weeks. So I like to see things hit the support levels. That's where I buy. That was what I told you about Guardant Health stock, which analysts believe will do so well in the future. I think it's currently overbought, but finding support around 73, that is where I will buy. So if I'm correct, there will be a red week next week. Already tell you that. I believe it will be a red week next week, and I will argue why in just 1 minute. I might use the chance to buy, for instance, Guardant Health stock if it falls enough. The reason why I think it will be a red week is the following. We had so many months and weeks of upturn. Now there is a negative sentiment. We have fallen from the top of the trend down to the 23,000. I told you it. Worst case scenario for the week that we are in, that we are just leaving, week 45, will be Nasdaq down to 23,000. Currently sitting just above 23,000. From 23 down to 22,500, there is so much support that it will be a slow ride. So for next week, I don't expect a really massive fall. I just expect a sour market, moving sideways, a little up, a little down. The trend itself is super nice for Nasdaq. It's such tight, good trend, but I think it will be broken down because relative strength index is still a little high. And pushing downwards, it might go slow but steady, and finding a place after 22,500 where it can go a little more rapid. That we'll just have to see, but the higher chance is that it will turn somewhere just about 22,500 and push upwards. I support this view by looking at the signals across all the stocks that we analyzed. 27% is giving buy signals. Nasdaq only 12% after falling down from 16 last week. And all of them are down. New York Stock Exchange, London, Oslo, all of them are down from previous week. Frankfurt from 50 to 41. National Stock Exchange of India from 28 to 17. Tokyo from 28 to 27, and Shenzhen China is actually the only one going up from 24 to 35. What does this mean? It means that the buy signals are getting low, but they are not at the low place where it's a typical buy situation. If you're a new listener, this is how I always been doing it. When the signals are very high, I sell out. Usually not all of my holdings, but I sell out quite much, so I have the cash, and when it gets really low, I start to buy because I say now the market is way oversold. I buy. Been working every single time, and I think it will work this time as well. But we are not there where it is really low. But when it's getting this low, investors start to be more scared. We see this in crypto already, and I think we will see it in stocks as well. I think many will take profit levels in Nvidia, secure their profits. There will be a slight recap of everything and the reorganization and the rebalancing of big portfolios. I think in general, I think the market will struggle a little bit next week. Overall, all economic data is so super. They come in much better than expected. Yes, the layoffs were higher for last month than in a long time. But these are layoffs from the overhiring during COVID. Some of it is related to AI making things more efficient, but a lot of this is overhead from COVID period getting less. There was nothing really dramatic in them. The rest of the numbers just keeps beating the market again and again, and there will be quarter results in the market for next week. Soon go into a few of them. But let me tell you about one more stock which should have the potential to start even going next week. And this is a stock I mentioned before. It's Applied Digital APLD. Stock has already fallen from 37 high down to $31 as it's sitting now. Relative strength index has turned up. We have found a pivot bottom in the relative strength index, a good side. Not much support below, so it can easily fall all the way down to 24. That may very well happen, talking 8-9% less. But in general, these stocks look much more appealing to me. And the resistance at 34, yes, it is there. But I think this stock is suited for continuous upturn. I think it will turn anywhere soon. Exactly where, I don't know. Let's say we get a very scared market today. Probably you can pick it up at 26. I will do instantly if I get the chance to do that. Analysts believe this stock will return huge earnings per share moving forward. Making our own in-house systems which calculate all this, looks at the previous history and a lot of things, calculates this, and also come up with a brilliant, great future of Applied Digital with a strong move over the next 24 months. May not happen, but everything is indicating that Applied Digital is one of the stocks that will have a brilliant, strong future. Everyone is calling for undervalued stocks, and fundamentally then these should be what is considered undervalued in the terms that analysts expect earnings just to grow very, very high for these stocks. About undervalued, you have to learn one thing, that there is no real such thing as undervalued, overvalued, at least not in short term. In long term there is, yes, but in short term the market doesn't care about anything. Tesla has $259 per dollar earned. It means that if you want to buy Tesla share and you want your money back, 259 years it will take you to get your money back based on today's earning PE ratio. So Tesla is highly overvalued, was up at 2,500 at one point, so has been much worse than this, but expectations are extremely, extremely high for Tesla to deliver on the results. And other stocks have an extremely low PE ratio. I've seen stocks down at 9, but the market doesn't seem to care. So I wouldn't absolutely be too sure and use this as a super strategy unless you trade in the very, very long time. All the 3 stocks which I will mention today, I've already mentioned 2 of them, Guardant Health stock, Applied Digital. These are stocks which fundamentally, with high likelihood, according to analysts, will deliver strong results in the future, which argues why stock price should go up. I said I believe it will be a red market. I argued why, but let's look at some of the economic numbers that will come in next week. These often help push the market one way or the another. The first thing will start on Monday, where we will have a 3 and the 6 month bill, where the question is now how easy to sell US dollars. I said to you when the dollar was 119 against euro, I think it is very good time to buy a dollar because I think it will strengthen. I personally did so. Currently dollar is sitting at 115, was under 115 yesterday, and I think it will continue. I think it will even surpass 1, meaning I believe dollar will strengthen very, very drastically over the next year. The country is going in the right direction despite what you read, and I believe the market more and more will get back to dollar as the preferred currency. Tuesday there will be some small business optimism index, the NFIB. Expected that the absolutely smaller companies will show slower or weaken a little bit. The signal will weaken a little bit, and that it is related to all the high costs that we've been playing with for 4 years. We are paying the high prices for them now. Salaries for the American workers are increasing at a drastic speed, but that means that all other costs are increasing as well, and someone has to pay for it. Wednesday will be a little bit about mortgage data. Very interesting for anyone that following housing market. Many are expecting a small crash in the housing market and a lot of money made in housing market, buying and renting out. It seems like this is coming to a slight end. If there will be a huge fall, it opens a new opportunity if you have the cash available and are able to do so. There will be a 10-year treasury yield auction as well, expected to be around 4.12% for the yield, and Williams will speak on behalf of Fed, so we'll get little insight on Fed. Thursday is the more interesting day, where you will have a consumer price index numbers expected to be 3% year over year, unchanged. Oil, and I tell you this all over again, and I made my argument 6 years of doing this podcast, and for the better part been very spot on. I told you oil would fall, and oil is at 60. I expect oil to push further down. I saw some reports arguing the same thing. There is a quite strong production, but economies around the world are starting to pick up, so there is good consumption. Meaning that I wouldn't necessarily sit in oil companies. I told you this when I bought oil many years back. Oil was down at 24 for a short period of time. I think it was 3 days. It was even sold at negative territory. I bought oil shares for what I could because it could only go up. And when it passed $100, I told you I would sell all my oil because it's way overpriced. And new government pushing energy in the direction where it should go down, because that will stimulate all economies, and that is going well so far. Oil at 60. I wouldn't sit in oil companies as producers, but I sit in oil freight companies, and that's been a very good investment. High dividend payers extremely well. It's the only thing which I like at the Norwegian Stock Exchange are the freight companies, because the rest of them, and even these companies, are struggling with the Norwegian government, which went, of course, all the way to the left, and that politic is hurting Norway extremely hard, pushing the Norwegian currency down the toilet, keep weakening, and I believe very soon it will pass 12 against the euro, going for grim records, even down to 14, where at some point they will try to force Norway into EU and into euro. We will see what happens, but I wouldn't bet on Europe at all. I would not place, and I do not trade any European stocks, because I do not see an upside in the European market, except what I mentioned for oil freight companies. Of course, there is a few very nice tech companies indeed, but as a general thing, I still see upside in US, not in Europe. Europe is in such a mess. Several of the countries are absolutely struggling, like Germany. I don't see why you should buy, for instance, Volkswagen shares yet. You buy them when they're even lower. Europe will come, but it will take more than a year before we will be where that will be the sweet spot. Gold, $4,000, pushing down from 4,400 to 4,000, staying quite nicely around 4,000. That's before going to some of the quarter results. The fourth stock, which I think may have some potential, and analysts also believe is one stock to watch. Astronics is the stock. ATRO is the ticker, ATRO. Currently sitting at $47, very nice trend, and like Applied Digital, it has turned down. It's been falling from 50 down to 46-ish. Found the bottom at RSI. Volume is following the stock. Absolutely love this, meaning that there is a good chance that it's very close to a bottom or a good buying point. This stock, along with Applied Digital, have the potential to start their upturn already next week. But more so, these are stocks for the longer run. Analysts believe that Astronics will deliver very nice earnings per share moving forward. And our system, when we wash it through all our algorithms, look forward, think that this stock over the next 21 months can go 1,000%. We will see. So far this year it's up 159%, but our system believes that Astronics will go much higher based on earnings. And the charts support this. Both Applied and Astronics says the same thing. The only stock which I don't agree to is Guardant Health stock. As I said, was $96 right now. I think that the best buy will be around 75-ish, 73, 75-ish dollars, and I will be in. There you have three stocks which I promised you from the very beginning. And there is only a few minutes left of this podcast where I'll give you the $1,000 challenge, where I've grown $1,000 to $5,000 and want to continue to grow it up to $100,000. But the three stocks are GH, ATRO, and APLD. That means Guardant Health, GH, Astronics, ATRO, and Applied Digital, ALPD. These were the three stocks I promised. Now you have them, and you are free to leave unless you want to know how the $1,000 challenge is doing and what is the next. But here are some of the most important quarter results this week. You can trade on them as well. Barrick will come on Monday with quarter results, expecting to have not double, but very close to double their earnings. Gold price has been insane good. scan back 3 years in the podcast, and I told you buy gold and gold companies for whatever you have, because this is where things will be. We are at the top, so I'm not sure exactly, but everything is indicating that they will post a very, very strong result, and it can push the stock upwards. I'm not sure that I would bet on gold as such. Another company coming on Monday is Occidental Petroleum, Oxy, which has been pushing upwards. And if we go 5 years back, Oxy was one of the companies that I absolutely recommended even before Warren Buffett started to buy heavily into Oxy. Oxy is expected to reduce almost half their earnings per share from $1 last year to 48 cents. I will absolutely get back to Oxy, but not yet. Tuesday will be followed by Sea Limited, Alcon, and Oklo is the most interesting on Tuesday. Comes after hours, has a market cap of $18 billion. It's an early stage nuclear company, and I was asked I believe it was in YouTube comment, what I think about nuclear energy and the sector and Oklo as such. And I argued why I think there is a huge future for Oklo. The world needs energy more than ever. AI is consuming insane amounts of energy. We are lifting millions of people out of poverty. Everyone needs electricity. It has to come from somewhere, and still nuclear is closest to the most green energy we have. All these solar panels, all these wind turbines, they have their potentials and upside, but they require insane amount of space to produce the same amount of energy, and they also are polluting in different ways. Windmills and solar panel, what's left, lifetime, all of these things, there are upside, there are downsides to everything, and there are upside and downsides to these things. And I think nuclear, after we have been in a very, very woke period now for many, many years, I think realism will come back into market, and nuclear again will get a little more wind. So I absolutely support the idea that Oklo will do together. They're expected to increase their losses a little bit, but that was my 5 cents. Wednesday will be followed by Cisco, Transdim, New Holdings, and the expectations is that Cisco will increase their earnings slightly. Interesting company as such. Thursday will follow by Walt Disney, Applied Materials, maybe the most interesting of them all is Applied Materials. NetEase will come, JD will come. JD is very interesting in terms of consumers. Expected a huge drop in earnings. I think the expectation is that the earnings will drop from 118 down to 34 cents, but I don't believe that will be the case. I think it will come in stronger than the market expects, and I think that might turn for an upturn after earnings release. A few companies on Friday, will not mention them. The companies that seems to have some upside after earnings, if to bet where it will go. So I believe that JD will go up. I believe that Oklo has a small chance to go up, and Applied Material and Cisco also will go up after earnings. I think Occidental probably will continue to fall. Yeah, that's where Barrick may even go just a little bit. That, my friends, leave us to the very, very last part of the podcast. And if you haven't liked the podcast so far, and you do, please press like and please press follow. $1,000 has become $5,041.06. I'm into NIO. I argued last week why I will sit in NIO, because I think it will be a red market. In the market, I believe that NIO will do somewhat good compared to other stock, and it actually happened. NIO was 701 last week when I was on the podcast. Now it's 716 after I bought it at $5.10. Up 40% since I bought it, 40.39%. I think there is much more upside in NIO. NIO yesterday was trading, I think, what was it, day before, up at 740. I think it will push way above 8. And NIO is also one of these stocks. I mentioned 3 stocks for you. And I have mentioned before that NIO is also one of these stocks that analysts and our system I developed, believe will grow very, very strong over the next 2 years. NIO, for instance, has a target of $24. I have taken the personal risk of going heavy into NIO. Seldom been sitting so much into one single stock. I've been buying in several rounds, got a very, very nice average. I was a little early buying on a little high prices, then I bought on the absolutely lowest, and a little more sitting at a super nice profit in NEO so far, but I think it is just the beginning. If you want to understand more about why NEO, rewind podcast back, because I will not repeat it now. I just think that they are suited for the years to come. I will not change anything in the $1,000 challenge. I will stay also this week in NEO, because you heard me say that I think it will be a red week. It will be up and down, a bit slow. If it goes up, I don't think it has potential to go higher than 23,500 for Nasdaq, but my feeling says that we will push downwards, and by the end of the week we will be lower than in the beginning of the week. But I also think that that may be the end of this natural short-term downturn, but we will have to see. I will have to see how the chart looks like, and maybe I will just reinvest, because I sold my Tesla shares, I sold my Nvidia shares, I sold a few other shares. Doesn't mean that I don't like the companies, it just means that I thought they were overbought. Nvidia I sold at 208. I thought it was a very, very strong price. Target was 200 when I bought it a long time ago. In the last dip, I've asked way above 200. Super happy about that. And I believe that given a little right market sentiment, there might be a new opportunity to come low into Nvidia, because I believe it's the right place. Hopefully the same thing will happen with Tesla. We will have to see. You just have to watch this podcast. You have to like it, subscribe, and continue to come back, because I will tell you exactly what happens with the stocks that I'm in and the stocks I think will do good. Until next time, I only hope that your portfolio will be much greener than it was in the beginning of the week. And of course, I hope that you will have a very good week overall. Bye.
Welcome to StockInvest.US Stock Analysis. We remind you that trading involves a high risk of losing money, and that you should speak with a financial advisor before buying or selling any securities. You should not base your investment decision upon StockInvest.US. By using the information you agree and are held liable for your own investment decisions.